Hello, welcome. This is Christal with, of course, Rolling Out and from Christal XO. And you guys are at my live bachelorette party. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm excited about tonight because for the first time, I actually have some of my girlfriends here. This is Tamika.
Hi, guys.
And this is Felicia.
Hi.
And Tamika is an author like myself, so we actually bonded that way.
Yes.
And
like over a decade.
What about
like a decade?
A little bit more than a decade, maybe.
Yeah.
Like maybe a decade and a half.
A decade and a half.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So, and Felicia, I've known since high school. So this is my girl all the way back, all the way back to Booker T. Washington High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So you guys come in, please. Tonight is all about having fun. I got my bride's cup. I'm getting married on Monday. So I thought, you know what? Since I'm not going out, this is still COVID times. I got girlfriends here with me, and we got one of the most handsome editions of All the Queen's Men. I know you guys watch that show. I know you guys have seen the show. It's on BET Plus. And so we have one of the guys checking in with us. So before I bring him out, I'm going to play this clip so we can all get into the bachelorette party feel, the bachelorette party vibe. We're going to play this clip from the show, and then we're going to bring him up, and we're going to talk about All the Queen's Men and exactly what happens behind the scenes. Okay, give me 2 seconds to pull up this clip. Let's see. You ready? Let me see. Okay, now that's just a little clip. Now, if you stay tuned, we're going to be playing clips all night from All the Queen's Men. Actually, you know what? Before we bring him on, let's do one.
We've been doing a lot of surprises.
Not the right clip. We'll come back to a clip later. Let's bring the man on. Without further ado, you guys, please help me welcome Babyface.
Ladies, how's everyone doing tonight?
Hey. Welcome to the virtual bachelorette party.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Now, you are on All the Queen's Men. Can I tell you, I binged the series. It is a great series.
Yes.
Great series. You guys did a great job. But what I heard is that some of the dancers on All the Queen's Men are actual dancers in real life. Is that true?
That is correct. Very true.
Okay.
Myself, Bolo, who's Doc on the show, and Masterpiece, who plays Midnight on the show. He's
nice.
Also in the male exotic world as well.
Okay.
I started off back at home, Detroit, Michigan. My original dance name was Fatal Attraction.
Oh.
But on the show,
that was your
the
name?
one and only Babyface.
So yeah. I just don't see about that. You said your name was Fatal Attraction?
Yes. That was my stage name.
Oh, where'd that come from? Why so fatal?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the movie, but you know.
Oh, so they go crazy. Is that what it is?
Is it gonna kill you?
So I've heard. That they go crazy.
So you've heard.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, that ladies, for those watching, you guys know that Bolo dang near turned the Real Housewives of Atlanta upside down. Literally.
Correct.
And figuratively.
That's why I've been here.
Shout out to the big bro.
No, he's not Bolo.
Oh, the other. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bolo plays Doc. I'm Babyface.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
connect to that.
Yeah, so Babyface character. We want to make sure that the ladies are chiming in with the ladies are saying, "Hey, Babyface," comments on the show. But your character actually has one woman particularly that is in love with him, like is totally and completely in love with him. That Fatal Attraction. Maybe his name was true.
Isn't that ironic? I mean,
hey. Sound like it's fitting.
Now, what I want to know is, did you have ladies that actually had that? Well, I guess your name was kind of give it away, but did you have women that would actually be that territorial and got that connected to you when you were dancing in the club?
Yes, very much so. And very much so. I've had my ups and downs of, you know, different type of, you know, crazies, as they would say. But you got to understand, like, as far as being a male exotic entertainer, you know, you build personal relationships versus, you know, a dude going to the strip club just throwing money at women. You know what I mean? On our end, you know, it's more intimate. It gets more personal sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And
we got very intimate on the show.
Exactly.
We don't talk about that.
The lines a little bit. It gets intimate, huh?
It gets very personal. But before we get any further, we have another surprise for you guys tonight. So we have Babyface, and we also have one of my friends who happens to be one of the biggest legends in the male dancing world. He's been here in Atlanta, and one of my good friends took me to his show to explain to me why I needed to be why I needed to visit the male exotic club. I had never been. And so without further ado, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play a clip to just, you know, familiarize you all with who he is before we bring him on. But I see him here waiting, and so I'm gonna just play a little clip, and then we're going to bring him on right after this.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Oh, yeah, watch that. Hands on the sun. Come on now. Have the faucets running. Talk to him, Luscious. Looking at you. Oh, yeah. Stuck on your phone, stuck in your zone. You don't have a clue. I don't want to give up.
All right.
Don't hurt him now.
Welcome, Luscious, to the virtual bachelorette party. Hey.
What's cracking? What up, though?
What up, though? What's the deal, bro? How you been, man?
You know, he's doing
Wait
what I
a
do.
minute now. Wait a minute.
I'm just saying.
Hold on, Luscious. This is Tamika and Felicia. They're part of my bride's tribe. You know, I'm getting married on Monday. They're coming to hold me down. So your video has already, you know, Tamika already has a question.
Well, I'm trying to understand why y'all have y'all shirts on. Is this this is not part of your character? So I was wondering.
Well, Luscious,
It ain't showtime right now, baby.
He says it's not showtime. Don't do us like that, Luscious. Don't do it like that.
You ain't ready.
They want to see a little skin.
No, come on now. See, Babyface is with it. Don't boo him. He said he's with it.
Oh, you with it? Okay, we're like, yay.
Okay, don't let the young fella take care of that for me.
No, but we got more clips for the ladies to show some of the things that definitely happened. But Luscious, before you jumped on, we were talking to Babyface about exactly what goes on in the club. And his name before was Fatal Attraction. I asked him, did he ever have any situations like the one that his character Babyface had in All the Queen's Men? Now, I know you from working, you know, here in Atlanta, and I've seen how the ladies go crazy. Were there women that actually felt like they were in a real relationship with you when you were dancing?
Yes and no. I'll say it like this here. For me personally, I try to keep my situation out of the club. I found it to be more profitable for me to do so. So you have those who come and tip you, and if they tip you for long enough, they will form a connection with you.
Mm-hmm.
And someone will want what they want, and they will treat the situation as such, and it can be, you know, a problem at times. But I personally try to keep my situation out of the club. I came to the club by myself. I always left by myself. Now, I might have met somebody down the street and around the corner. But as far as the club, I try to keep my business out of the club the best I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to elaborate a little bit on what he was saying, you know, it's as long as it's, you know, because every entertainer is different, you know, but because again, me and him are completely different, you know, even though we're in the same industry. But what I've learned, just to elaborate on what bro was saying, is that as long as you keep everything professional and you continuously build a professional brand, you know, everything else will follow. You know what I mean? Like, I can say that I've had my bumps in the road as in my younger days and as a younger man of, you know, building more intimate personal relationships with girls in the club when I wasn't supposed to. You know what I mean? Until I got, you know, to the point where I outgrown that and, you know, just started building my brand, particularly professionally, and just keeping everything in the club, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's a learning curve.
Absolutely.
You got to understand.
Absolutely.
Most of the guys that dance at some point were some type of athlete of sort. Most, you know, so they are used to the attention, but the intention magnifies times 10, if not 20, once you go into the club. Because the first thing on a woman's mind is what? It's sex, because you're selling sex while you're on that stage. You know, it's like you cut straight to the chase. So that's already on their mind. So it's very easy for it to go there.
Yeah.
So, but it's on the dancer as to how he want to carry himself as to which way it goes from there. You know,
exactly.
You're really trying to get money. You can't really truly screw everybody. One, that's the first thing.
Right.
And a lot of folks, and this one, I'm glad we're kind of talking about this right now, because one of the things that I definitely wanted to point out, everybody's watching All the Queen's Men, and you must understand that these guys are characters. This is not authentic. This is not real. There's not one time I ever went to a strip club where guys were, first of all, we don't even have a VIP room to go dance in.
That was one of my questions. Like,
wait. I beg to differ.
I do feel like in a regular strip club, not regular, but in a strip club where women are dancing, everybody knows there's opportunity to get more than a dance. Is that the case in you guys' situation?
So I will say, and I call it mainstream, which is that working at a club. You know, because I've danced in Vegas, I've danced in LA, China, you know, so I have been able to work in a club environment where the next level is VIP, or the next level is I want to buy you off the floor and go do something else if I could. You know what I mean? And then you also have the other side, which I call the urban male exotic side, which, you know, there is no VIP. You know, it's literally straight to your bag. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I've had the opportunity to experience both.
Okay. And I've performed in Vegas as well, but when I came in as a guest, and that's the only time that I ever seen anything remotely close to that, where they had a second floor where they did have a VIP section. But on the norm, there is no VIP. There's no taking it to the back. We do our routine on stage, and in certain clubs, you are not even allowed to come off the stage.
Oh wow!
And so you have like when I come in the game back in the day, the only two male dance clubs that were even around were in Detroit, and that was Watts, and it was Henry's Palace. And you would come out and you had your times to perform. You perform on stage, and when you do your thing on stage, then you come off the stage. You didn't go in the audience. You couldn't mix with the ladies. And then the next group of guys came up, they did their thing, and they had what they call a G-spot. And then everybody would come back out, and then the women could come up to the stage and tip the guys and whatnot. So that part of the show, he may be used to. I never even witnessed that. But for the fact that what I want to address is the sex in the club, I've never witnessed that. You know, guys, you know, performing acts in the club, in the VIP, so on and so forth. Now, I will admit, some guys took it one further and took it out in the parking lot, maybe went to a car or went to a hotel after the show, that kind of thing. But as far as in the club, in the VIP section, I never witnessed that. And, you know, and I wanted to touch on that because I didn't want people to see all the Queen's Men and believe that that's how it is for any and everybody. Because that's not the case. These are characters, and this is the way it was written. So it shouldn't take a toll on that person and their personality, who they are and what they were, or who they are and what they stand for. For the guys that in the movie that I personally know are professional guys, and their ego is so strong that you couldn't even speak to them on that level, talking about, oh, well, let me give you $100. I want you to do this and do that. These guys are. They like their body, they're in their gym, you know what I'm saying? Some of them have children, and the fathers, so on and so forth. They have lives outside of the club. You know, so there's professionalism there. You know, some of these guys are going to college, just and trying to.
Some are even married.
Go to another level.
Some of them are married.
I said, yeah, some are even married. Like some of the guys that I was actually working with in Vegas, you know, they were married, you know, so they definitely kept everything 110% professional, you know. I ain't gonna say no names now.
They don't have girlfriends or whatnot. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I mean, when it comes to the show, what is a good comparison for anybody that hasn't actually watched the show? What can we kind of expect?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Is there any comparisons for the show? Like anything that I guess is popular that you can compare the show to so that we can know?
I would have to say if Power and P Valley had a baby.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
That would be my comparison. If Power and P Valley had a baby. You got all the Queens men.
Definitely is because it's females. I think that's what makes this show so dope, though. Is the fact that you see men in that position, and I think,
a woman.
Yeah, and it feels like a fantasy because I'm gonna tell you, and I know that you guys both know that it's probably what I'm saying. You probably would disagree with what I'm saying, but I don't understand as a woman. I just can't see tricking off like that because I just feel like males are usually free. It's usually just free to even see a guy like that. Like it's just not. I just can't understand the mentality of a woman. And I saw it because I went to the Playhouse several times. We lost Luscious. I went to the Playhouse and I saw. So I know that that's true. But what do you think is going on? What do you hear is going on in the mind of a woman that would need to come to the club and do that? Because again, most of the time, men are.
For Babyface, that's for us too.
That's for Babyface first.
I gotta answer.
What is the deal with the women paying for the attention?
I mean, I don't judge anyone, but to each his own. You know. Yeah. That's some women's preference, you know what I mean? Like some women, you know, they thrive off that, you know. Again, I don't judge them, you know. It is what it is, right? But it can get crazy when.
What have you heard? I'm gonna let you take over because I'm gonna let my other girl in the door, so I'm gonna let Tamika take over.
Okay, go ahead.
No. What I was saying is, I mean, it can get a little crazy, you know, because when you're in that lifestyle, you know, you can definitely get yourself attached, you know.
I think that for a woman to want to trick off on a man, it's the same reason why a man wants to trick off on a woman.
Yeah, it's lust. When you come in the club, you're already skipping that first base of. You're not even having a conversation with them. Yeah. You know, your first initial move is touch, feel. Yep. You know what I mean? So since you already skipped that step of, you know, let me get to know you. Let me get your number. Maybe let me, you know, get your name. You know, you already then basically almost went to second base, almost. You know. Right. So again, that's what I'm saying. Like as far as the entertainer, that's up to that entertainer. You know, to see where he wants to take it with that particular woman. You know what I mean? And that's why I said earlier, you know, like it's all about whether if you want to build that professional brand or if you want to be like everybody else in the sense, or not everyone else, but the stereotype. You know what I mean? Of what a male entertainer is. You know, we get the stereotype of we hoes and you know, we just out here slanging, and it's like it's not like that at all. We're human. We're human beings first. Fathers, like I said, some of us are married. You know, some of us have relationships, serious relationships with our partner at home, and you know, again, we just separate the two.
Okay. Well, you know what? We got some ladies watching. I want to make sure that we keep teasing the senses since this is a virtual bachelorette party. So yeah, let's play another clip. This I believe this is a treat for you. Go ahead. This is Luscious with Real Housewives of Atlanta. You know, a little something for the virtual bachelorette party. Cheers, ladies. I got a little treat for you. Go ahead.
Luscious came out, all the women in the room went crazy. He hadn't even taken off his clothes yet. I need my sunglasses. Sheree was like, no, really, seriously, sir, look at me right here in my eyes. No. She gave him like Mama Do face. No. Mr. Luscious was wearing nothing more than a sock on his penis. And then he started to take it off. Well, all right. He kept pulling and pulling and pulling, and it popped out. Oh, my God! It was humongous. Girl, I need therapy after that. I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you tune in next week for Candy Coated Lies.
Okay, yes, Luscious. What does it feel like when women have that reaction? What does that do to one's ego? When every time you come in the room and take your clothes off, women go crazy like that. We've added another girl to the bride track.
I get a good reaction.
But what does that make you feel like? Like, what are you thinking?
It is, it's a gift and a curse.
It's a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
Babyface, would you agree?
Absolutely.
Because put like this here, is for the same reason a lot of women they gravitate to me. I have a lot of women that also run from me.
I would assume
for that same reason.
Yeah.
Oh. Now,
Babyface,
we have a personal friend. I won't say no names. We'll keep the innocent.
Yes, please.
But that was a situation. That situation.
That was a situation.
She was like, how would I look dating a stripper? Is what she told me in certain words. Not because she didn't know me. She didn't know me as a person.
Yeah.
So what she believed was based on what she saw on stage versus who I am as a person. That blocked that. Where I got a lot of other women who run to me for the same reason. So it's a gift and a curse.
Babyface, would you agree? Do you think that women would take, because there's this idea that a woman, when a lot of men, well, not now because it's become very common. I think men probably prefer strippers for wives over regular women at this point. But do you think that in some cases it's hard for women to take a person seriously that has your profession?
Absolutely. For one, two major factors: women and money. That's the two major factors in this business, So already, like I said, we get judged. Oh, you got all these women, you got the hoes, So it's hard for a woman to try to put her trust in someone that's half naked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
it's real hard. And it's like Luscious was saying, it's a gift and a curse because, by being a great entertainer and entertaining and putting a smile on women's faces and having them have a good time, you also get that. It's like a curse because they're like, well, dang, he do this to everybody.
Right.
He goes everywhere and do this. I wonder what he do if he take them home or, this or that, So it's like, again, it's definitely a gift and a curse for sure.
Now that clip, the women were going crazy over this Luscious size. I'm just gonna say that. And his friend, in All the Queen's Men, Babyface, there's a scene where Madam is judging new hires based on if they are, if their size makes sense or not. Is that real? Do men get judged on if they're able to dance because of their size?
No, not at all. Not in real life. No, not by far. Because there are a lot of men in the industry that don't get naked at all.
What?
Yeah. There's a lot of male exotic entertainers in the industry. They won't get naked at all. They just dance strictly off entertainment. Exotic, erotic entertainment. So that part isn't real. Not in real life.
And then I've never experienced a club owner that was a female either. So there's not. So men don't judge men that way.
Right.
And it's usually a man that owns the clubs for the most part. I don't know that one club I've ever danced in that a woman actually owned.
Yeah, I can agree. Yeah, club eating is one of a kind.
Yeah, well, that's why it's we hope it happens in real life. Now, Luscious, you did a movie several years ago. You had a big premiere here in Atlanta. It was a big deal here because, like we said, you've been a veteran in this business, a legend in this business for years. So you did a movie called Shake, and the movie, I think I have the artwork here for the film. So ladies, if you are interested in seeing some more entertainment after this show, you can go to, I believe, Tubi and Amazon Prime and watch the film there. Let's just talk about just the film, because in the film you deal with some of the stereotypes that are around male exotic dancers. The first one that was addressed was by your father in the movie, which is Clifton Powell. And he was like, I feel like all male exotic dancers are gay. And I didn't raise my son to
well, when I grew up, that was the assumption.
Right.
When I came into the game, it was very hard. It was very hard on men to dance.
Right.
I mean, I used to have to literally fight.
Wow.
I'm from Cleveland originally. My second home was Detroit, and we had to fight. We would fight in the clubs and in the streets with regular guys. You know what I'm saying? Because they thought we were soft. We literally would have to fight. And the biggest stereotype is that all male dancers are gay, which is not true. I honestly don't know one openly gay male dancer. Now, maybe some that's suspect and do what they do because nobody knows where the nose goes when the doors close.
Hey.
But I don't know any personally know any openly male dancers that are gay. Now, and then they weren't allowed to dance with us because we didn't allow guys in the club that weren't performing or working. If you didn't work in the club, you couldn't even come in the club.
Oh, wow.
So it was either wait staff, bartenders, security, managers, and the dancers were the only people allowed in the club outside the women.
Yeah, we couldn't even have a +1. Like I couldn't bring my cousin in there, my brother, none of that.
That's rude.
I mean, you also got to think about it like this. What do you want?
Uh-oh. I think he got a call, but can you hear us, Babyface?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We can't see you now.
Yeah, sorry about that. Somebody was calling me.
The computer is acting up a little bit.
That's all right. Well, you know what? Let's take a break and watch another clip from All the Queen's Men. Y'all good with that?
Yeah. All right, fellas. It's game time.
Well, not a lot we can show on rolling out and not get in trouble.
We gotta be PG-13, huh?
Yeah, we gotta be PG-13, but y'all can go to BET Plus and watch All the Queen's Men. Now, that's the question I actually have for you, Babyface, because I'm telling you, there's some very, very racy sex scenes, very, very, very racy sex scenes, and there is a sex scene with I would say a plus-sized, beautiful plus-sized woman.
Yes.
And
shout
one
out
of
to
the
the beautiful singer.
Yeah, she's beautiful, and it was done so tastefully, and I was like, wow, I'm so proud of Christian Keys, number one. We haven't shouted him out. Shouts out to Christian Keys.
Absolutely.
And of course Marcel and Tyler Perry, but it was so dope to see them celebrate a woman's body that didn't fit the stereotype that we've been told we have to be, and to show that in a beautiful way. So
yes.
it was so different because we don't see that usually. So I really commend them for doing that. So can you talk a little bit about just the sex scenes and the fact, do you see that as groundbreaking as a man to be able to celebrate a woman's body that's not, super, super slim and just the standard that a lot of women are not?
Absolutely. Yeah. Shout out to all the beautiful curvy women. I definitely love that the whole camaraderie of you know, just how we laid that out. You know, again, shout out to Christian Keys, Tyler Perry, Kim Fields. Um, it's a beautiful thing, you know, to finally show something different. You know, you don't have to be skinny and petite, or you know, have this body. You know, you can be big and beautiful. You know, and I was glad to be a part of, you know, such, you know, something of that nature. You know, showing that, you know, we can love on our women in a great way. You know, and it wasn't like raunchy or ratchet, or you know, it was real beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. I will say this though, that episode at Miss Tandy's house, it was cold as shit. Okay, it was like 30 degrees outside that night.
That's how it always is when it's a pool. When it's supposed to be warm, it's always super cold.
Yes, but we got everything done and it was beautiful.
With Kim Fields, what role does she play with the show? She directing?
Yes, she's one of the EPs on the show.
Wow, okay.
Yes.
So Shantae Chavis asks, what movie show are we discussing? We are discussing All the Queen's Men that airs on BET Plus. You guys, please go watch and support this series. We're talking with Babyface, who is one of the series regulars on the show and does an amazing job. His storyline is one of the most interesting, in my opinion. And we'll get a little bit more into his storyline. We're also talking with LBreezy, is hanging out with us. He was one of the first dancers to actually create a movie that showed what it was like to be an exotic dancer. And he played himself, which was really cool, and brought pretty much the whole Atlanta down with him. So thank you, ladies, for joining. Please share this so other women can see it. We're going to play it back on Thursday. I have some of my bride tribe with me. Usually I'm here by myself talking, but I have Tamika and Felicia and Nicola. And Nicola and Tamika are both writers as well. And Felicia is a boss chick that has like her own IT company. So these are the women that would
that's right.
These are the women.
Shout out to those black queens over there, all of them.
Hello.
Yes.
So another question I have, let's get into the culture of the club, Babyface, because besides the women, your situation is interesting because you have a woman that is pretty much supporting you. And I don't want to give everything away, but can you talk a little bit about the internal struggle that your character is dealing with on the show?
Yes. So I won't give too much away just in case y'all have not seen it. And if you have not, again, please go on BET Plus, subscribe, get that subscription, check out all 10 episodes. But yes, to answer your question, Babyface deals with a lot. He deals with a lot. Miss Patty is pretty much like his sugar mama in a sense, you know. She kind of hangs the money over his head, and he's kind of like, I gotta go get it, you know.
Right.
That's kind of the position that Babyface is in, you know. So internally, he kind of struggles with, you know, being his own man in a sense because, you know, it's like, I need this money, even though I kind of don't want to deal with her like that, but I need to because I got to make money. You know, so internally, you know, it's just a lot of things that's just shifting Babyface left or right, you know, because it's like he wants to have it on his own, but he just can't right now. You know, he depends on, you know, what's going on at Club Eden.
Right. Well, he definitely.
So that's one of many of his struggles.
One of his many struggles. Now, there's another issue on the show with another one of the dancers that I want both you guys to chime in on this because I want to know if this is true. The guys are, and we have to be PG-13, so the guys are doing something to their friend. They're doing something that makes them stay a certain way. So one of the dancers is having trouble with his health because of doing that. Like, it's timed out.
Okay.
It's timed out. Can y'all tell us, is that true without going into too much detail? If there's certain things that you're doing to your manhood that are making it difficult to just be, you know, for it to be healthy in real life after the club?
I don't know of anything that I don't know anybody who's had any after post dance trauma. But I can see where it could. I do see where it could be possible.
Yeah.
Due to the nature of what it is. It could be possible. It seems that it's a possibility, but I don't know if anyone verbatim that had that issue.
Babyface?
Yeah, to elaborate, me personally, no, I don't know anyone or myself either, no. But I know it could happen though. You know, that's just like if you do anything, too much of anything is bad for you.
Right.
You know, so if you're continuing to, be booked and you're doing these shows, and you're continuously tying off in a sense.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep it PG-13, but if you continuously, tying that off, eventually, you will have problems.
Yes.
Eventually.
Is that necessary for the job?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not, but it's expected.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, it's expected. So.
Well, the sock doesn't keep it extended.
Yeah. That sounds painful.
It does sound painful. Does it hurt?
If you have it on too long, yes, it will.
Yeah, long periods of time it can hurt. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh wow, y'all are out there.
Or if anything,
because you also have to understand this. So you're getting ready. You're backstage. So you're already there. You're tied up at this point, right?
Yes. Okay.
Now the DJ has to introduce you. Then you have to play. Then you have an intro. You got about probably like a 5 to 10 minute intro. You're coming out on your intro. Then you're doing your show on the stage. Then you may pick up a few women here and there. So that's like 30 to 40 minutes all together right there. Before you even can get a chance to get off stage, get yourself together, and then untie.
Jesus.
So just think about you going from city to city doing this, daily for years at a time.
What about picking up women that you don't necessarily have the muscle mass to pick up and do like it's?
See, personally, that's on the entertainer. Don't chew off more than you can bite.
Exactly.
That's what I say.
If you can't pick her up, you don't need to pick her up.
You don't need to even think about trying. That's a liability.
You seen guys drop women?
Oh,
yes,
several times. Several times.
Absolutely. I've seen a dude drop a woman and himself. Like, how did you fall too, bro? Like, what?
Or drop the girl on top of himself.
Exactly. Like, come on, bro. Really?
You gotta sit up, get in.
Have y'all ever dropped somebody?
I have.
One time. I can say one time. I was in Dallas, Texas. One time. The floor was wet.
I was trying to do too much.
Okay.
I was trying to do too much. I was trying to do what I call take it to the third floor. And that's how I end up dropping her. I took a very big girl.
Yeah.
And I was taking it to the point of putting her all the way up here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and I was doing too much, too fast, and
too soon. Yeah.
I lost my footing.
It happens to the best of us, man.
All right, I think we got a clip from Shake. As I said, we are talking with Babyface. We're so excited to have both these guys here. Babyface from All the Queen's Men, which is playing right now on BET Plus. You guys make sure you check that out. It was written by Christian Keys, who is amazing and fine himself, and has a lot of other fine men in it. And you should definitely check it out. And then also we have the veteran himself, the OG. Luscious is hanging out with us tonight, talking about the business. And so I want to play, I think this is a clip from Shake, and then talk about that movie and how I think because of Shake, we're able to have All the Queen's Men. And hopefully, I'm tired of seeing female strippers. So hopefully we'll have more male strippers moving forward from this.
Yes.
All right, fellas. All right, fellas. It's game time.
All right, I thought we had a Shake clip. Let me try to pull it up. In the meantime, that's my bad. In the meantime, we're having some technical difficulties. I want to allow my bride's tribe. Like I said, I have my girlfriends here. We are preparing for a wedding on Monday.
Wedding, not us.
Well, yes, my wedding. They're here to prepare for my wedding on Monday. So I want you guys. Do you guys have questions for? Because we don't have a real stripper here.
Well, I got a question.
It's just us and them on the TV.
Well, Babyface, is this your first acting role?
Yes, it is.
So how did you experience? How did you prepare for this?
How did I prepare for it? I literally
acting classes. You have a
well,
code.
actually, I mean, cause filming went like this. Like over at Tyler Perry Studios, we shoot fast. But no, I had no acting experience prior to this. I'm definitely in acting class right now. I'm on my second class. But I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I said not number 2.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
You got to keep sharpening that tool. You know, you got to keep sharpening that tool.
Already, and you've never done any acting.
Have you seen Babyface?
No.
Have you seen him without his shirt on?
No, I asked.
That
He got
would
that shirt off, and he still got that shirt on.
That way, hold on now. That is him without the shirt on.
Oh. Okay.
Y'all didn't see that clip?
No.
That's
yes, but to answer your question, prior to the show, no, I did not. So like I said, shout out to Kim Fields, shout out to Christian Keys, you know, DeAndre, Elon, you know, for putting their faith in, you know, me to transition into acting, you know, because when I was found just strictly based off being an entertainer, you know, because they wanted the show to be real, raw. You know, they didn't want nothing fake or phony about it. So, you know, they actually reached out to, you know, the top entertainers in the world, you know, and I was one of them. So I'm just blessed to have the opportunity.
I know the top entertainers
that real.
World. Did you hear that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Get it right.
What about you, Felicia? You've been quiet. What question do you have for the gentleman?
Taking it all in. I'm just loving what I'm seeing, and I'm just taking it all in.
Nicola?
Was the storyline true to what really happens in clubs? Like in P-Valley, they had to recreate stuff and show them what the truth is, what happens in clubs. So do you think the storyline originally before you guys came on set was true to what happens in clubs?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, some of it is a little, you know, like a little bit of an add-on, you know, but for the most part, you know, everything is exactly what goes on. You know, it's showing the raw, the realness of, you know, what an entertainer has to go through. You know, like, I don't want to spill too much just in case you haven't seen it, but, you know, like in Babyface's situation, I'll talk about myself. Well, Babyface, I should say. But, you know, he has, you know, some problems. He got a sugar mama. You know, he's in the club talking to different women, and, you know, he's going through things that a real exotic entertainer in real life would go through, you know, with these women or in his life, you know, such as far as, you know, his BM, his baby moms, you know, taking them to court. But I ain't gonna give out too much.
I was just gonna piggyback off of what she said. So how true is it that, you know, the men have sugar mamas and they're not, you know, they have
very
all
true.
It's
very true.
Well, I think everybody.
But I will say this though. I wouldn't necessarily say a sugar mama. Like, see, in my time, I would say like a real life, genuine, like friend, like client friend. You know, somebody that actually likes and appeals to you and messes with you strictly off your talents.
Babyface.
Why she's like actually taking care of you.
She's a real
boy. Bye.
That's that game.
It happens.
I'm trying to keep it PG-13.
That's that game. You're trying to give us the game. Well, all right. We got a clip from Shake. So Luscious, we're gonna play this clip, and then I want you to talk to us about because your movie, like I said, was years ago, and it kind of told the story of both sides, like how this young man, who's yourself, ended up, you know, going through some things, and then he ended up getting into this world of exotic dancing. So let's take a quick look at Shake.
All right, Brian.
So you ready to show me what you got, baby?
Yeah.
Stay grinding, stacking paper, my money's hella long. Yeah, you fine, but I don't need your baby, so
don't have to give me more than that.
keep on hating, it ain't nothing now you
Relax.
There's nothing left to say, nigga, check my resume. Keep on hating, keep on talking, I get rid every day. I stay grinding, making money, spending it every way. I can't do it, I'm making something I've
You
never
did a good job with this one, sure. I think it's gonna generate me some revenue. So do I get to name it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I'm gonna call it Luscious.
They ain't be calling the nigga Luscious.
All right, stop. Good.
All right, man.
You just don't keep going. What was y'all doing in the back?
We had a couple of drinks.
Drinks. Whose shit was y'all drinking?
That was my personal shit.
Hey, you can stop, man.
I'm the man for the job. Hey, 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 I'm the man.
This is the day when I stopped being Brian.
Damn. You're hired.
It became Luscious.
The job is his.
Okay, Luscious.
Okay.
Okay. We lost Key. We keep losing one of y'all. We cannot have both of y'all at the same damn time. I know.
Yeah, I had to switch to my cell phone.
All right. So let's just tell us about Shake. How did you create that? Obviously, it probably had a lot to do with, was that kind of like your real life story to an extent, or how did you get the inspiration for that?
The whole movie is loosely based on my life, how I got into dancing. I started off as a security guard, and some of the ladies at the job while I was working, they would go to ladies' night. And when they would go to ladies' night, they would always come back to the store and they would talk about it and whatnot. And one of the girls was like, "Oh, you should be a dancer." And I was like, "Oh shit, not me," because I, as well as most men, thought that male dancing was gay. And then one day she came into the store. Well, one of the guys came into the store, and she put me on the spot. We're like, "Oh, he was the one who said all y'all was gay." And then I was like, "No, that's not what I said. What I said is what I heard was all y'all was gay." So then me and the guy had a conversation. He gave me a business card, and he told me, "Say, hey, when you want to make some real money, come holler at me." And I fell on some hard times, and I thought about it. And I went over to the club and I checked it out. And when I found that I can get money just by acting and dancing a little bit, I knew it was a job for me.
So how much, like, realistically, on a good night at the Playhouse, how much are featured dancers taking home?
Well, I can't speak for everybody, but at the height of the Playhouse, I know I was making at least $1,500-$1,600 every night. And on my birthday, I would triple that.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. So,
but I like I said, I wasn't the normal dancer though, and then I was the featured dancer, so everybody didn't make the kind of money I made. But I would say that didn't nobody make nothing less than $400 to $500. But we was having 600 to 700 women in the club at a time.
Yeah, it would be packed. That is a lot of dancing that is a lot of dancing. That is a lot of dancing. So did you find it difficult the movie came out and I know this is not what you're doing right now. What was your transition like?
Well, from dancing, I ended up getting radio. I was on V103. I did a Sunday night slow jam mix for 4 years. I was on V103. So that was the transition from dancing to that. And then there was a gray area because the PD, Reggie Rouse at the time, was like, well, you going to be a dancer or you going to be a radio personality? Yeah. So we had a back and forth with that for a while. And then I actually got a part in a play, which was A Mother's Love, which is also on BET Plus right now. You can stream that right now as well. And I had a role in that. Candy Burris and Todd Tucker had a play in which they casted me as the bad guy, the villain, the antagonist. Right. And, so that's how I ended up stopping doing the radio, because we were supposed to go on tour for, I think 3 months. We did 2 weeks and the play crashed and they never gave me my job back. So that's kind of how that happened.
Okay. Well, we lost Babyface. It doesn't look like we are able to get him back on. But we appreciate Luscious holding it down for us. If you guys are just tuning in, definitely make sure that you check out all the Queens Men. It is right now streaming on BET Plus, and you can binge watch the entire season, which I did. I watched the entire season because the storyline was really good. There was somebody in the comments earlier that said that they didn't think that they would like that kind of show, but after watching it watching the episode, they got interested in it and ended up really liking it a lot. And I think that's the same thing I felt like. I wasn't sure. I'm a big fan of Eva's, and so I watched it because she was on there, but I actually ended up really enjoying the storyline. I think that they do a great job. And I've always, I just wondered how this went. We don't have Babyface with us, but we got a little small clip that I'm gonna play since he's no longer here. He may look young and innocent, but he's all man, Babyface. That was a real quick clip. That was it. Now, y'all, we can't play a lot.
Such a tease. Okay, Babyface.
Yeah, we can't play a lot because it's not much that we can play on the show without.
I do have one question though, because both of you guys talked about how you thought that male strippers were gay, right? So I want to know, as far as, why did y'all think that? And do you guys have like men that come into the strip clubs that want dances and stuff like that? Like, is this something that you guys witnessed? Have you ever been put in a position that made you be like, no, I'm not about to do that because a guy wanted to dance? Like, and does a show also kind of tap into that space too?
Well, I can't speak for all the Queen's men because I haven't seen all the episodes, so I can't say what it do and what it doesn't. But I can tell you in real life, we didn't allow men in our clubs, period. If they wasn't working, they couldn't come in the club at all. So I never had to deal with that inside the club. It wasn't until the internet that there was issues where guys were sliding their DMs and they would try to proposition you or send you nude pictures of them and stuff like that. So it wasn't until the internet came around that we had those issues. Myself personally had any of those issues. And then when I posed for Playgirl magazine as well, so people would get my magazine.
Luscious.
Huh?
I said you should have sent those pictures too. I forgot about that. You should have sent those.
You couldn't have showed them.
Wow, they're frontals. It's frontal view. What?
You can send them to. You can send them, and I can show the ladies. Just
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
But you can Google me too.
We can Google it. Can we Google the frontal?
Nicole, I don't think you can Google the frontal. Nicole, did you have a question, Nicole?
I was saying church fingers. Send pictures.
The ladies want to see the pictures.
Okay, that's not a problem. Yeah, but the biggest thing that people got to understand is, like I said from the very beginning, got to understand these guys are characters in a role, and everything isn't actual and factual. Some of the things are very close to what happens. They're made bigger for the storyline to pop and whatnot. Like I said, I've never danced in a club where a female ran it, and we definitely didn't turn in our tips at the end of the night and give them to her on the show. That's something that happens in the female strip clubs where they have to divvy up their tips and tip out and all that. Men don't do that. Most of the clubs, we get paid a fee to show up, and we get our tips, and we get all our tips.
Okay.
So that part is very different. But I understand, through the storytelling.
TV. And Eva kills the role. Eva Marcel kills the role. And I think that it's a great play on things because we know that for so long, women, like you said, female dancers, that's their reality. And I've heard like a lot of them, by the time you pay the house mom and pay the club and all that, and then you have to split your tip, like there's not as much to take home as you would think. It's not like what it suggests. But the women are getting pimped. So in this show, the men are getting pimped.
Not so much because they're taking their money home.
No, not in the show. In real life, Melissa say he's not getting pimped, but in the show,
so how does the club make money if they're not getting any of y'all tips?
Because they get the money from the door as well as the bar.
Okay.
So they charge, you know,
Oh, we
charge
got
a cover to get
back.
in.
We got Babyface back.
You know, they charge a cover
There
to
we
get
go.
in, and
My
then as well.
apologies. My phone had died, guys. Sorry.
We were like, wait, people watching were like, "Where's Babyface? Where's Babyface?" Oh, so we had to play
Sorry
this.
about that.
We had to play you on there so people would see. We had to play that Babyface clip to stand in your place. I do have a question for you guys, and I'm just gonna. This is so I'm getting married for the second time. The first time I got married, at my bachelorette party, we actually went to a male strip club. The guys were not waiting for us to tip them at all. Like they were just very. That's why I ended up leaving and never went back to a male strip club again because I was in college. I had never been to a strip club. They scared me to death. They scared me to death because they were just coming at us, putting stuff in our face, and I was like, I haven't taken out any money. I don't. Hold on, I'm not prepared. So my question is like, and I'm not saying the two of you because I know that's going to not be the truth. But do you think that all the men that are dancing are always waiting on the money and the tips to entertain, or do you think some of them just enjoy entertaining women because it's enjoyable?
A little bit of both. You got some guys that go way over the top, and they're a little too aggressive.
They were.
Where I learned to perform, like I said, in certain areas you couldn't come off the stage, so I had to dance, and I learned that more so when I went to Detroit. Watch Mozambique was the premier club, and when you danced there, Mr. Watts, who owned the club, did not play, and you had to perform, or you didn't make no money. And the women they could come up to the stage, they could throw it on the stage, they could possibly put it on your hip, but they couldn't. You know, you couldn't do all the picking up and the stuff that you see in some of these shows now. You couldn't do that, so you had to perform, and that's where I learned to perform. And the costumes and smelling good and all that stuff would make the women come to the stage. And I got that from Detroit, which was my second home.
Babyface?
So yes, same here. Both. I've worked with dudes that are just for the money. You know, they don't care. They don't wait. They don't even ask your name. They don't even say, "Hey, how you doing?" They just, "What's up?" You know. And I've also had this opportunity to work on the other side where it's like bro said, you have to come to the stage. You have because I can't come to you. You know what I mean? So I have to draw you to me. Somehow, some way. You know what I mean? So I honestly feel like I was the entertainer that I love to entertain. I love to see women happy. I love when a woman can come up to me and be like, "Yo, that was great. Like, you made my day. Like, that did something for me. That's what made me go harder in the industry. Just being able to put, smiles on women's faces and, just having them have a good time. You never know what a person's going through. You can change someone's day, in a heartbeat, just with a smile or, even saying, hey, so.
Okay. Well, Babyface, what do you want? What do you think that people, there was somebody earlier, one of the viewers that said that she hadn't really thought that she would like the show because of the nature of it. But when she watched it, then she actually ended up really enjoying it. So tell us what you think people get out of the show. What is the response that you've heard so far?
I've been getting a lot of great reviews. First off, for me, I love the women empowerment. It's showing that women can get the job done too. It's a lot of strong, independent, women out here that don't get the shine or the respect that they should, and I think that this show, shows that, within Madam and Blue, and I'm not gonna give too much away, but so those are some of the reviews that I've been getting as far as like how the show has been set, as far as just women empowerment of just showing that a women can be the HBIC respectively. You know what I mean? Also, as far as the male exotic, again, like just making sure that we stayed on the authenticity of what it is to be a male exotic entertainer and what we have to go through. So that's pretty much it.
Are y'all fathers? Y'all have any sons?
Yes, I'm a father. I have one daughter.
Oh, you have a daughter. Okay.
Yes, she's 10. She'll be 11 November 24th.
Okay. Aww.
Yes.
I have two of each. And right now, I'm currently a single father, raising my youngest child. He's here with me now. He's in his room, so he didn't have to hear this conversation. But yeah, I have two boys and two girls.
Are your children aware of that? That y'all that you
dance,
used to dance.
All three of my oldest, they know exactly what's going on. My youngest, he kind of knows what's going on, but it's what it is.
For me, because my daughter was she was growing with me, so she was a lot younger, but I kept her away from a lot of that stuff. So for me, no, but she knows now. But
she
only
knows
because
now.
of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so she knows Daddy is a male exotic entertainer on TV.
So how was that conversation?
It was a conversation. A light conversation at that. I kept it real light and brief. She just asked, how did I get on there, things of that nature. And I kind of broke it down to her, what I did before, because she would never ask me, like she would just always, I'm dad, I'm fun, so she never would ask me like, what do I do, for a living, you know what I mean? But now, I'm able to, especially because she's 10 now, and she's of age to where she's beginning to become into her first beginning stages of being, a preteen. I'm able to, explain to her, what's going on now. And as she gets older, I'll just, start hitting her with it over time. Like, yo, this is what I was doing.
Somebody hit me with it over time.
You know what I mean? But as of right now, she just knows Daddy is on TV, and that's what he does on TV.
Got it. Okay. Luscious, how was it
for me?
I wondered that. Like, how do your daughters? How do they feel about you in dancing in the club and probably some of their friends' moms?
Oh, has that happened?
Well, for me, the situation was right there in their face once they got, at a certain age, because I was so highly publicized. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, I was in Playgirl magazine twice, Jerry Springer, Jenny Jones, Maury Povich, What Chili Wants, Atlanta Housewives. Then I was on the radio. So there was no getting around it. So I had to deal with it. And my youngest daughter, she was a little standoffish, and she was like, that's nasty at first. My older daughter, she would threaten the girls when they say, I'm gonna be your stepmama. You know what I'm saying? And this, that, and other. Because they were in the club, and their mothers was definitely in the clubs.
Yes,
so they did get some backlash from it. One was a little more defensive. Oh, like, I'll beat you up. That's my dad. And the other one was like, that's nasty. She didn't want to hear nothing about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my oldest son, he really just never said much about it.
Would you want him to dance?
No, I want better for my son. My son is actually a firefighter as well as a paramedic.
Nice. Oh wow!
So he's come to the club and he has helped. Whenever I'm having the event, he'll help do security and help with the bartending and stuff, whatnot. But as far as him performing, I don't want that from him. Plus, his mama would kill me.
I met your mom at your performance. She was very cool.
Oh yeah, my mom, she collects the money at the door. She makes
she did.
My mom be collecting the money.
You gotta keep it in the family.
She ain't playing no games. She is so cool. But yeah, she's not playing no games. At the door with your money. Like, yes. I had
the funny thing. I want to share this with you guys. When I first started dancing, for almost 6 months, I hid it from her.
Uh-huh.
And when I finally got up the nerve to tell her, I invited her to a club where I was going to perform that night. And so she would just see for herself.
Uh-huh.
And the crazy thing was, when I started dancing, she already knew.
Yeah.
The guy who got me involved, his name was Hot Chocolate. And he was real big in the city. And he kind of mentored me. And my aunt knew who he was. But I didn't know that she knew.
Yeah.
And so they knew what I was doing. And then when I ran and told her, she said, don't you know I know you? You my child. And she wasn't upset about it. And because I had some issues with the law back in the day, she felt like she'd rather I'd be doing that versus doing what I used to do. And so it was kind of easy.
Okay. Interesting. Well, we appreciate you guys hanging out. Babyface, you're sitting in a perfect location to show us something amazing.
I know, come on.
We are come on, it's
the bachelorette party.
It's a bachelorette party. Babyface, we can't go to Club Eden. We can't even go nowhere. Luscious don't even have one in the Playhouse anymore.
Honestly, I don't mean to be a party pooper. I wish I could, but there are children around where I am right now.
Okay. Well, I don't want you to do that.
Sorry.
Well, that's a whole buzzkill.
I mean, I wish I could.
Do that with the kids around. Well,
I thought he didn't do it.
No, don't do that. We kids are not No, we having a good time.
The hat off.
He's got the arm. She said take the hat off or something. Let us see the head at least. You got a haircut. Hey.
I mean, got the wave popping on,
And Christal, I still do have the shows now. I just don't perform as much myself anymore. But we still do the shows. We just recently had a show, and Miss Basketball from V103 came out and hosted it.
Okay, nice. Well, maybe you can give us an invite the next time you have a show.
I would love an invitation.
February, we'll be doing something for my birthday.
Okay.
When is that?
He said February.
Okay.
Don't forget to send those pictures.
And
Black History Month.
Luscious said he's gonna
right.
He's gonna send us some
Teach
pictures.
me some things.
He's gonna send us some pictures for the rest of the bachelorette party. Thank you so much, Babyface. Before you go, remind people.
Thank you for having me.
Remind people where to watch All the Queen's Men, and then also give the ladies your social media so that they can follow you in case you do want to drop some gems in on Instagram. We want to see those.
Absolutely, most definitely. If you have not already, please check out All the Queen's Men streaming right now on BET Plus. All 10 episodes are on there. You can binge watch everything. I guarantee you, you're gonna have fun. It's gonna be mind blowing. Check it out. Let me know your thoughts. You can follow me on Instagram at @giftedindividual_. That is again at @giftedindividual_.
They're doing it right now.
Thank you so much, Christal, for having me.
Thank you. Let's just let people know where they can watch Shake and also how to follow you.
Okay, you can catch me on Tubi as well as on Amazon Prime. The name of the movie is called Shake. Also, you can also catch me on BET Plus, A Mother's Love. You'll see me in two different perspectives. I take my acting very seriously, and you'll see different colors in the way I flex my muscle in that way. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can catch me at Luscious Promotions. We still doing events. There's no party too big or too small, and I would love to be a part of your next situation.
Hey, you already know. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Follow me. My name is Tamika Newhouse.
You know what?
It's Tamika Newhouse on Instagram. That's
Tamika Newhouse, right?
Yes, Newhouse. Like I bought a new house.
See how we may have you a new sugar mama right now. We may have a new one.
I don't sponsor.
Thank you, ladies, so much. Enjoy the rest of your night, ladies. Christal, again, thank you so much for having me. And listen, I wish you guys the best. Congratulations on your marriage and your success.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you, Luscious. I'll hit you later. Send us those pictures, Luscious.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for hanging out with me. This was fun. Thank you guys for hanging out.
Yeah, this was fun. I
enjoyed
enjoyed
hanging out. We're getting ready to watch All the Queen's Men since, this is what we're doing for the bachelorette party. Thank you guys for joining us. And I will see you next Monday. On Monday for Reality Check, I have the amazing Tamala Mann. We need some good Christian conversation to clean up all this that we just finished watching. So, tune in.
You will be newly married.
I will be newly married on Monday. Yes, I will be newly married. So I will be back. I will be Christal Jordan Jennings on Monday at 8 o'clock. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. All right. See you guys on Monday. Bye.